My name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney, with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So whether you're a parks professional or a Florida first-timer, this is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll be chatting to other Disney superfans to share memories of their magical times, answering your Walt Disney World questions, getting you all the latest news from the parks, and finding out what's happening right now in Orlando. So get your ears on as we take you to the most magical place on earth. This is the most magical podcast on earth as part of the Secret Recordings Network, here with brand new episodes every other Friday. However, I'm going to tell you this right now. There won't be a podcast for a few weeks. Our next one's going to be 3 weeks after this one, because I'm about to go on a Disney cruise to Alaska. I don't know if you remember me saying last year I was supposed to be on the Disney Wish and it was cancelled because it wasn't ready, so I was given 50% off any other cruise. So I'm going to Alaska with Mickey and the gang. So no podcast for the next few weeks, but we'll be back the first Friday in June will be the next one. But I'll try and keep you updated from my Alaskan cruise with Disney on all the socials, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, @PodMagical, if I've got any signal. Okay, we have got a podcast to go now, and we've got a big news update coming very soon on this podcast. I think you know what it's going to be. It's the question that I get asked more than anything else. For the last 2 years, there's been one question that people have been asking me. We finally have the answer to that question. We'll do a news update for you very soon. We have got another question to get to right now. Don't forget, any planning questions, whether you're going soon or whether you're booking soon, anything we can help you with when it comes to planning, do let me know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, @PodMagical. Hello to Lindsay. Andy, love the podcast. Thank you. Just wondering, are there any perks for having a DVC tour? So if you go to the parks, you'll see the DVC booths around. It's kind of like the best way to describe it is Disney's timeshare. That's probably the best way to describe it. And you used to get like Disney gift cards and free fast passes, and they used to pick you up and drop you off and take you around. There's none of that anymore, really. You might get a pin badge. But, I mean, if you've got a lot of time, it's always worth having a look around the DVC resort, because you never know what you might get. You might even get a free ice cream. You might get a bit of something. But at the moment, I don't think there's any big incentives for going on the tours. There's big incentives for buying. But in terms of going on the tours, there's not really at the minute, Lindsay. Unless you know any different. If you've been recently and you've done one of the tours and you've got something, do let me know. DMs are open. Give me a shout. Any questions you might have for our next podcast in 3 weeks, do send me a message between now and then. Right now, let's get to this week's guest, shall we? Let's talk all things Walt Disney World with Kristine. And Kristine is on the podcast, asking the big question. Why do you love Walt Disney World?
I think it's the escape from reality and the fact that you can be unapologetically exactly who you are.
Now, I say, why do you love Walt Disney World? But you've only ever been once, and you've literally just come back.
Yeah, we've been back a week today.
So it was your daughter and your parents who you went with, the four of you?
Yeah, it was full on. So we went for 16 days. So we went for quite a long time as well. And we only actually had the 2 days off the parks that we had to have off.
Yeah. You had to have off because your feet were killing you. Please, I can't move out of the bed. Interesting you say 16 days. So which days did you have off? Did you plan the 2 days off? Or did you get to a point where you just went, I can't take it anymore, I just need to stay in the hotel?
Yeah, no, we did plan them. So we planned to have off the first weekend. The first Saturday, we didn't go in the parks. And then the following Sunday, we didn't go in the parks. And
did you pick weekends because they're generally busier, so it was a bit more
Absolutely.
advantageous? Well done. Well planned. Somebody's been listening to the podcast.
Absolutely.
One highlight from that trip then, Kristine, one big happy memory. What would you take from it?
So during the holiday, it would have been my daughter meeting Snow White. She is her favourite princess, which I absolutely adore because she's the classic. She's the OG.
Yeah.
But also she didn't know about the holiday until the evening before we flew.
Oh, wow.
So surprising her was amazing.
So how did you tell her then? So it was the Friday night, you're going tomorrow, and I'm guessing you'd packed and done everything.
Yeah, so we told her on Valentine's Day that she was going to Greece on holiday.
Yeah.
So that we could pack because we flew on the 28th of Feb. So that gave us 2 weeks to pack. And then I had already arranged a princess to do a video, a Snow White princess. And she did a video, it's about 5 minutes long, of her talking to Ava, saying about her friends and everything, and then sort of saying, oh, I'd love to have dinner with you, but to have dinner with you, I'd need you to be here. I've got a surprise to tell you. And then she told her that she was going to Disney World.
Oh, and what was the reaction?
Yeah, she was quite stunned, bless her, but she was also a little bit concerned because I was absolutely blubbing behind the camera.
I was going to say, yeah, how did you react?
14 months we'd been sitting on that, and she didn't have a clue.
So meanwhile, you've been planning hotels and flights and park passes and dinner reservations, and she hadn't got a clue.
Absolutely not a sausage.
How old is she, by the way?
She is 4. She'll be 5 in 3 weeks' time.
Oh, so would you say that's the perfect age then, 4 years old?
She definitely took a lot from it. She rode loads, scared herself a little bit, but that's what it's about. You do it once. If you don't like it, that's fine.
That's it, yeah.
She slept well. She was never a problem. It was good. The only thing I would say is when you go to the big sit downs and you've got to pay the money for the children to eat, she didn't eat a great deal because she's that younger end side of the age group. That would be the only thing. It is very expensive for them to not eat a lot.
Yes, sit-down restaurants are quite expensive. Which ones did you do? Or did you go buffets? Because sometimes buffets are a bit better.
We did one buffet. So we did the celebrations with Winnie the Pooh on the last morning.
Right, yeah.
It was really nice.
Crystal
really nice
Palace.
way to end the holiday.
Yeah.
We did Artist Point with Snow White. We did Topolinos Terrace with Minnie, Mickey, Donald and Daisy. We did Hoop-de-Doo Review.
You got quite a few in that. And the ones that weren't buffets, so like Topolinos Terrace, did you get to take the food with you? When any food that was left, did you box that up and like have that for breakfast the next day?
We didn't because we weren't that clever.
Oh, you see.
So that's the top tip.
Yeah, if you go to a buffet, you can't do that. But and another top tip is like at Topolinos Terrace, you know when they bring out the pastries and they say, would you like any more pastries? Always say yes, because at the end of the meal, they'll say, would you like it boxing up to take back? Again, say yes. Put it in the fridge. That's tomorrow's breakfast sorted. Can't do it with a buffet, but table service, take them up. Tell me about Hoop-de-Doo. How was that?
Oh, it was incredible. And if you think your child's too young to go, they're absolutely not. I've got some adorable videos of Ava giggling at them, singing. Oh, it was probably one of the best entertainments we saw on the whole holiday. It was incredible.
And it's not something that is like full of Disney characters. And in fact, it could be anywhere in the world, really. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a legendary Disney dinner show, but it's not Disney, if you know what I mean.
It's not at all. It's a bit of escapism from it all as well, if I'm honest, Andy.
Yeah.
For the hour and a half, you can forget you're at Disney. It's nice to be able to just have that bit of escapism and have basically a party. It is great fun. The servers are all brilliant. The food is really good. You definitely don't need to eat anything afterwards or before. It fills you up to the brim. The show is incredible. It's so much fun. So much fun. It's
proper family entertainment as well, isn't it? Regardless of age, like you say. From young to old, your parents, your daughter, you could all take something from it. Really good fun. Which one did you do, by the way? What time did you go?
So because of Ava, we did do the 4:30.
Yeah, that's the first one of the day,
but we went over to the Tri-Circles Ranch and she had a little ride on the ponies before. So we went over early. We got the boat from Magic Kingdom, so that was nice.
Yeah, it's good to, because it is quite a trek to get there. You've got, like you say, you've got to go to Magic Kingdom, then you've got to get the boat from Magic Kingdom, which is, I think you can get the bus to, what's the resort called? Wilderness Lodge, isn't it? Wilderness Lodge? Campsites? Yeah, you can get the bus there, but then you get another internal bus to get to where Hoop-de-Doo is. But if you get the boat, you're pretty much off the boat, aren't you, and straight there.
Yeah, and it's the boat drops you off right where the Hoop-de-Doo is, so you haven't got to go through the resort.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is well worth it. If you're thinking about doing it, I really recommend it. And if you've got young children, it's absolutely fine for them.
How did you book it, by the way? Because when I did it, I had a bit of a pain out to get a VPN to book it online because it wouldn't let me do it from the UK. Did you have any problems?
Yeah, so we ended up with a VPN.
Yeah.
Dad did have to phone Disney because on our 60 days, we couldn't see the Hoop-de-Doo. but the hoop-de-doo is not done on your 60-day. They just batch release a whole load. And our 60 days was the 30th of December. And we phoned up and they said on New Year's Day, we're going to release a whole other sort of 4 months worth of
Right, so it
tickets.
wasn't available then. So, yeah, you've got to jump through a hoop to get to the hoop-de-doo. Is what
Absolutely.
Did you have any late nights? Did you manage to stay up for fireworks or
So
Fantasmic?
we did the Magic Kingdom dessert party. We did the Fantasmic dining package. We didn't do the Harmonious dining package, but we did do Harmonious.
Harmonious is what? Well, it's retired now, Harmonious, but the Epcot fireworks. Yeah. It doesn't really matter where you stand around that lagoon. It's always pretty much a good view, even with a little one.
No. Yeah. So this was day 3. So we took her in a pram, which was probably the worst mistake we made because she fell asleep, Andy.
Oh, of course.
And she slept all the way through the fireworks.
So she hasn't seen them?
So we were there one evening and they were going off as we were trying to leave. So we pulled the pram backwards so she could see them while we walked.
Oh, that's a good idea, though.
Yeah.
Just going back to food, we mentioned talking about hoop-de-doo and the places you eat. What would you say is your favourite Walt Disney World restaurant?
Mama Melrose.
Oh, Hollywood Studios. What was so good about that?
Yeah. Oh, the food was fresh. The steak with mac and cheese and red wine sauce is incredible. Incredible.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
I had calamari. That was lovely and fresh as well. I had the Starry calamari at $2.20 and it was notch above that.
Right. Mama Melrose, pop that on the list. I've never been there. Did you do it with the Fantasmic dining package? Because I know you can go there for Fantasmic, can't you? Is that what you went to?
Yeah, exactly what we did. Yeah, so we booked Mama Melrose for 5:30, had our meal there. That was probably perfect. I mean, you could have gone to 6 o'clock, had our meal, strolled up the boulevard, doing some shops on the way to Fantasmic, got to town Fantasmic, had the seating. We did probably sit there for about 25 minutes. You don't have to turn up that early when you've got the tickets.
I'd always say a good 20 minutes at least, though, even with a ticket. Because you're right in the middle over there, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
They are good seats.
They are.
Now, you've been to Disneyland Paris before a few times.
Yeah.
So how did it compare? Were you ready for it? Did you think, it's Magic Kingdom, probably just going to be the same?
So we did Disneyland Paris when I was a child. And actually before, if you can believe this, the second park was built.
So it's just Disneyland Paris. Was it Euro Disney?
So, it was Euro Disney, yeah.
30
so
years ago?
We went was 99.
Right, okay.
So there was no planning. There was nothing. We just walked around and got on the rides that we wanted to get on. When we got on them, there was no extensive queuing. There was a bit of queuing, and I mean that was summer holidays we used to go.
Yeah.
So it was a completely different experience.
The old school paper fast pass. And did you use Genie Plus on your Disney World trip?
So I got a DAS pass, which was a lifesaver.
Yeah.
And we did have Genie on our tickets. So the Genie came into play when we flipped our days. So when we'd finished doing our rope drops on the first 3 mornings, we flipped into afternoons. So then we would, by the pool, use Genie Plus to do some stacking. And then obviously you have experience of the DAS Pass and how good the DAS Pass is when you get into the park. But you can't do it before you get into the park.
Did you use the app for your DAS Pass reservations or did you go to the attractions?
Yeah, I used the app. When the app wasn't crashing, that was my one bugbear.
Disney technology is not, you would think they would be on it, but it has its faults.
But when you use it at home, it's seamless. You use it in the UK and you're like, let's have a look at what the wait times are now and plan what we're going to do because it's the time we'll be there and this is what the wait times are. It's seamless at home.
Yeah.
Get into Disney, just freezes.
Yeah, absolute nightmare. But do you have any stressful moments or was it you go, it's fine, I'm on holiday?
So the worst one was probably when we woke up at 5 to 8 for an 8 o'clock reservation for Topolinos Terrace.
Oh no. So what happened? Did you make it? Did you call them? What did you do?
So obviously wake up at 5 to 8 and we're in a flat out panic. I tried to ring through the Disney line and it's just endless. So I think it's probably better we just hang up, get in a cab, get to Topolinos.
Yeah.
So we did that. and we were 20 minutes late and they didn't say a Scooby-Doo.
So you could have been even
They were
later.
absolutely fine. So we'd had a word with somebody as we got out of the car at Riviera, and they said it's okay, they won't start contacting you until you're over half an hour late.
Ah, okay. I never knew that.
No, nor did we.
So I knew you had a bit of leeway, but didn't realise it was half an hour. That's good to know. Definitely good to know.
It is. It's quite a lot of leeway as well, isn't it, really?
So what was your planning strategy going ahead with the 4-year-old? Anything in particular?
We kind of... So I spent forever on touring plans, doing the whole planning out our days, and then we got there and we didn't use it one single time, not even the app.
No.
So we knew what we wanted to do with Ava and what rides were appropriate for her. We would go in, do sort of 2-3 rides, and then go from there and see how we felt, and then have a conversation between us all about what's going on and how we're all feeling and what people would like to do next. So no, there was no plan.
No plan, wing it. But I'm guessing you were still prepared though when you went, because you were doing rope drop, you had Genie Plus. It sounded like you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, so we had a very good idea about what we were doing. We had a very good idea about that the parks would be incredibly busy our last 4 to 6 days because it was spring break. So we knew we had a lot to do in the first start of the holiday.
How was the spring break crowds? Were they as crazy as people say?
It was busy.
Yeah.
It was very busy.
So noticeable.
So we would be able to get into Magic Kingdom. We would get there sort of 9 o'clock, so 4 opening, and there would be about 100 and 150 people with you going in. We went over on the Sunday because we were doing the transportation. We did all the transportation in Disney, and we were doing that, and we were going on the monorail from Magic Kingdom, and the queues were from the scan-ins to security.
So next time, avoid spring break.
Yeah, the first couple of days weren't too bad. It did get a bit better. I wouldn't go during spring break. If you have to do a couple of days, fine. But I would not go for the entirety of your holiday during spring break.
Back with our Disney World guest in just a moment. Let's take a quick update on the news from Walt Disney World. And there is a lot to tell you. It's the big one. Okay, deep breath, stay calm. It's happening. The Disney dining plan is returning. It's back from the 9th of January next year. Now, you can book the regular dining plan or the quick service dining plan. Bookings will open from the 31st of May. As I say, this is for dates from 2024, the 9th of January 2024. You can book at the end of May. If you're a DVC member and you're booking with points, you can add the dining plan onto your DVC booking as well. So 9th of January, you'll be tucking in and listening back to all these podcasts that we've been doing for the last few years, which should tell you how to maximise your Disney dining plan. Oh, the joy, it's part of it, isn't it? Also, more good news. Disney World will no longer require Park Pass reservations. Once again, this is from the 9th of January next year. So this is next year on date-based tickets. So this is mostly us here in the UK. This is the ticket we get. So when you get your 14-day ticket and you have to put the activation date, what day you're going to be going, like all the 9th of March or whatever it is. So from the 9th of March, you get your ticket starts, and you don't need to worry about making your Disney World Park Pass reservations. I don't know what is happening with park hopping, because at the moment, you can only park hop after 2 o'clock. But if you're not making park reservations, does that mean you can park hop before 2 o'clock? Like you can go to Magic Kingdom for an hour and then go over to Epcot? Or do you have to go to the park that you go to first and stay there until after 2 o'clock? I'm not really clear on that yet. So if we hear any more, we'll update you on the podcast as the weeks roll on. Also, extended evening hours for deluxe park guests. They're going to stay. That's usually Magic Kingdom and Epcot on Mondays and Wednesdays. And those early theme park entry hotels benefits will also remain as well. So getting in extra half an hour. And you can do a lot with that extra half hour. As I've said a number of times on this podcast, don't think of it as an extra half hour. Think of it as an extra hour. So half an hour before that half an hour, get in the queue, aim for your Seven Dwarfs or Ratatouille or whatever. Is that staying for all those parks, extended through the rest of next year? And also, finally in our news today, this was all one big press release from Disney the other day, by the way. They've also hinted that they are working on ways to make Genie Plus better. They've not really given us any more details on this, but they're hinting that you will be able to book your Genie Plus reservations, your lightning lanes, before you go on your trip, which to me sounds like they might be going back to the old Fast Pass system. So obviously the old Fast Pass system, you could book your 3 Fast Passes, or lightning lanes as there would be. You'd be able to book 3 a day, and when you've used those, then you add on each one and each one. So maybe Genie Plus is going to be becoming a little bit more like a paid Fast Pass Plus. Once again, this is only me guessing and trying to read through the lines of what Disney has told us, but we're not really sure on the changes to Genie Plus or park hopping after 2 o'clock. But as I say, keep in touch with the podcast. Subscribe. We've got brand new podcasts every other week. And of course, we update you on all the socials as well. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, at Pod Magical. Kristine is with us on the podcast, back from Walt Disney World for her first time. Did you go anywhere else in Orlando, or did you just stick to Walt Disney World on this trip?
We went to the malls. So we went to Vinelands and we went to Orlando Premium Malls. And my dad went to Kennedy Space Center.
On his own?
He went on his own, yeah.
How did he get there? Did you just get an Uber?
No, so he booked a transfer with his tickets. When he booked it in the UK, he booked tickets with that would pick him up from, they picked him up from the Coronado. So he didn't have to go to another hotel. That was nice.
That's really good.
Yeah, the day he was there, they were attempting to launch the first 3D printed rocket.
Did it go well?
No, it got cancelled at 1 second to go.
1 second to go.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Almost. So near.
It's launched now and it went up into space. So.
And when you went to the outlet, which between the two of them would you say is the best one, having gone to both of them?
So Vinelands is very busy compared to Orlando Premium Outlets. So I think it's because it's nearer to Disney.
Yeah, because Premium Outlets is the one at near Universal, isn't it, on iDrive?
Yeah.
On the top of iDrive.
Yeah. So the one up by Universal has got a smaller Disney warehouse, because everybody's going to want to know about this Disney warehouse store, but it's better organised and there's less people in it.
Right, okay. And better stuff in it as well, would you say, or same?
It's hard to say. There was different stuff.
It's very hit and miss. It's very hit and miss what you get.
Yeah. I mean, the one at Vinelands had no lounge flyers at all. The one up at Universal did, but they were Halloween ones.
Yeah, you need to be, I think it's probably, you're talking about 3 months past the season. So was there any Christmas stuff in when you went?
Yeah.
So Christmas stuff and Halloween stuff?
Yeah.
Good to stock up though, isn't it, for future trips?
Yeah. Yeah, but there was also other stuff. We did buy things. We brought T-shirts. We brought Little Mickey. So, you know, the Nuimo dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ava's got all of those because they're only $1.99. So the clothing for them. She's got everything. Yeah, it's $1.99 in their shops.
Let's talk about your favourite attraction then. What was it?
Oh, it's got to be Everest.
Yes, Animal Kingdom. What was it you love about Everest?
It's just not. It doesn't matter how many times you watch a POV, you cannot get the intensity of the ride. How long it is, because it did surprise me how long it was.
Oh yeah,
and how much of it is in the dark.
Yeah,
I just love it.
What did you do on rides like that, having a 4-year-old? Did you kind of like take it in turns, you do ride a swap, or did you just pre-book and go on your own anyway?
So the first time I rode it was the day that my dad was at Kennedy Space. So it was just me, Mum and Ava.
Yeah.
So Mum and Ava went and did the Maharaja Jungle Trek while I booked it through the DAS and then jumped on. Then the second time we went, me and Dad went and rode it while Mum had Ava. Mum's not a big coaster lady, although she did go on Guardians, Andy. I have an amazing photo.
What? Oh, so she's not a coaster lady, but she went on probably the biggest one. She went on it. How was? Did she enjoy it?
She shut her eyes after the Big Bang and opened them when she got off.
That's probably the worst thing you could do for motion sickness as well, isn't it?
So for her, she said, so we then went on Dinosaur a couple of days later, and she actually said, Guardians with your eyes closed is better than Dinosaur.
Well, you've heard it here first. Not that I'd recommend going on rides with your eyes closed.
No, I mean, I had a big battle with myself about Guardians, but I did it, and I would do it again. And it is an incredible, incredible ride. You can't call it a coaster because there's just so much more to it. But for anybody that's wondering what it's like, Slinky Dog is more intense. That has G's, that has negative G's. Guardians does not.
Yeah.
If you can ride Smuggler's Run and Slinky Dog, you can ride Guardians.
Was there anything you didn't like? Anything you came away with going, I changed that, don't like that? 2-ply loo roll, 1-ply loo roll, toilet doors.
Oh, God, that is awful, isn't it?
I mentioned this weeks ago and people have been going, yeah, you're right, Andy, the loo roll at Disney World. It's not good enough.
Oh, it's awful. The app.
Yeah, the technology.
Yeah, it is absolutely, it crashed daily. I did write it down.
I found myself with the app, every now and then it would log me out. And then to log me in again, it wanted to send a code. And to get the code out to go and check my emails. And then I went on the emails, but my emails wouldn't check it because it didn't like the Wi-Fi. And then I was locked out my emails. That was a pain.
Yes, I imagine it was Disney Springs. Disney Springs of a weekend evening, don't even do it.
Yeah. I think any evening it gets very busy, but yeah, I guess like Friday, Saturday, maybe even Sunday night. It's where a lot of people, there's a lot of locals go, because obviously you don't need a ticket to the park to go to Disney Springs. So a lot of people go just for a mooch and the atmosphere or maybe food and drink. So yeah, it does get busy. So avoid Disney Springs weekend evenings.
Yeah, we actually found it better at Epcot on the first weekend of Flower and Garden than Disney Springs. Disney Springs was heaving.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't do Disney Springs of an evening. I would avoid it at a weekend if you can, full stop.
I'm going to give you your perfect Walt Disney World day, Kristine. Talk me through it. Talk me through it.
So we are staying at Coronado Springs, and if it's my perfect day, we're staying at concierge. We're staying concierge.
Of course. So this is where you stayed last time, by the way.
Yeah, so we were at Coronado Springs this time, yeah. We're going to get up and we're going to go down to the Rick's Sports Bar and have our breakfast because it's only marginally more expensive than quick service, but so much better. We're then going to chill by the pool in Genie Plus for Hollywood Studios later. So
you're not rope dropping, you're having a chill morning?
Yeah, and we're going to Genie Plus and we're going to stack.
Right.
We are then going to get a beautiful minivan over to Hollywood Studios about 2 p.m.
Oh, splashing out the cash.
Yeah, we're going to do Mickey and Minnie's, then round to Slinky Dog, Alien Swirling Saucers, Smugglers and Rise.
Yeah.
If you've been, you know that's a loop.
Yes, exactly. There's no going backwards and forwards. We can go round and come back.
Nice
well
loop.
Well done.
We're then going to do an early dinner at Mama Melrose to get the Fantasmic seating. And we're going to chill and watch Frozen and meet Olaf afterwards to let dinner go down. That Frozen show is epic.
Very funny as well.
It is very funny.
Yeah.
We're then going to do a quick park hop over to Animal Kingdom just to do Everest and Kali River Rapids because Kali River Rapids was Ava's favourite ride. And then we're going back to Hollywood Studios for the first Fantasmic showing. And then it's a chill back to the resort, over to the cocktail bar to get a purple moon and a cheeky packet of Cheeto Crunchies. If you know, you know. And a chilled night.
That sounds like a perfect day and very achievable. You didn't go crazy about doing 4 parks and water parks and Disney Springs all in one day. It was an achievable, good, fun day at Disney World.
Absolutely. And Hollywood Studios was by far our favourite park.
All 4 of you?
Yes, yeah, all 4 of us.
So, having just come back on what was probably a once-in-a-lifetime trip, are you going to go back again?
Maybe in 3 years' time, yeah.
So when Ava's a little bit older, she's a little bit of an older princess.
Yeah, so her stepsister finishes school obviously at 18, which is in 3 years' time. So we are thinking of taking both the girls and their dad, obviously, because he hasn't been either because he stayed at home this time. Just us 4. We probably won't stay on site. I wouldn't stay on site all holiday again. I would break it up a bit. So yeah, stay in a villa, do Disney and the park that shall not be mentioned.
What was it about staying on site that has put you off? Is it just the price?
The price is a big thing. The other thing is the constant noise. There is music everywhere. I mean, the room was quiet. It was quiet, but that's the only place you've got any serenity. Because obviously you've got 100,000 people in the park. There is going to be noise constantly. And when you go and eat, it's not quiet. There's people talking. And I cannot explain to you the sensation of quietness when we got home. It took a little while to get used to.
I notice it especially in restaurants. Eve, you can go to any restaurant in Disney World and there's just this noise. This is that constant noise. But it's because you've got a lot of children, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, we really noticed it. When you go to Epcot, if you go to the UK pavilion and go round the corner to the, where the Mary Poppins house, and it's really chill back there. The
bandstand,
That's quite a difference as well.
Yeah, it's knowing where to find those quiet spots in the park. Just to get, especially
we didn't find many of them, just one.
Yeah, I suppose especially if people have sensory issues, I think they do cater for that, actually. I think there's rooms you can go to if you ask. But yeah, it is very noisy. It's very noisy.
Yes.
But that's part of the attraction for a lot of people, the noise and the fun.
Yeah, I mean, it was still very, very enjoyable. And I definitely am not going through the rest of my life not going again.
Oh, of course.
Not gonna
no, you've been once.
That's not going to happen.
You've got the bug, that's it. Lovely
we
chatting
are doing Paris next summer.
Are you going to Paris?
Yeah.
Scratch the itch, go to Paris.
Yeah.
Lovely chatting to you and have a magical day.
Have a magical day, Andy.
If you fancy joining me on the podcast to talk all things Walt Disney World, and as I say, it doesn't really matter when you went last. If you haven't been for years, maybe you went in the 80s and you've got loads of stories to tell me, I'd love to chat to you. Everybody's got their favourite things, their favourite attractions and restaurants, even if they're not there anymore. Give me a shout. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, @PodMagical. If you are going to be going very soon, do you know what? The crowds are not really too bad. They're as busy as you'd expect, busier at weekends. The end of the month is Memorial Day, so the bank holiday that we have here at the end of May, they also have Memorial Day bank holiday on that same day over in America. So that weekend is going to be particularly busy. Remember, it's always Magic Kingdom that gets busier at Saturdays and Sundays anyway. You've got the Flower and Garden Festival. International Flower and Garden Festival continues over at Epcot with some live music, including the orchestra, former members of ELO. They play May the 12th, 13th, 14th and 15th. Rick Springfield, he'll be on later on this month. Weather-wise, the hot weather is here now, and those afternoon thunderstorms have kind of started to arrive, particularly as we get towards the end of May. So temperatures, you're looking around 30 degrees, give or take. That's pretty much your average, but hot and sunny. If you go in, pack a poncho, get on with it. That's what I always say. And I've got a top tip for this podcast. We always like to end the podcast with a bit of a top tip. And this is for you if you've got little uns and you're wondering whether they're going to stay awake for fireworks. You think, I want to go, but I really want them to see the fireworks at the end of the night. If you have somebody who is kind of like goes to bed quite early, I'm talking like 9-ish, then think about going in the winter months. Not only is it going to be a little bit cooler, but because it goes dark earlier, the fireworks are also on a little bit early. So you might find that Happily Ever After at Magic Kingdom is on at 8:15 rather than 9:15. That hour can make a big difference if you want them to stay up late to see the fireworks. Or maybe that's late enough for you. You don't really want to adjust too much with your body clock. You're quite happy to go to bed at 9 o'clock and get up really, really early. Of course, true Disney fans get up really, really early and go to bed really, really late. That's how we really do. There's your podcast tip for this episode. Remember, we usually have brand new podcasts every other week. It's going to be 3 weeks to the next one. Do follow me on the socials to find out what I'm up to and why, if you can't remember from the beginning of the podcast. But until next time, hit that subscribe button. That's the best way to find it. If you could give us a 5-star liking as well, that's also brilliant. And please remember, this is the most important thing. Until next time, please stand clear of the doors.